Hey everybody, it's Friend in High Places, episode 2 with Governor Josh Shapiro at the DNC. It was an epic week. I talked to people that are genuinely blowing my mind. You're gonna see all the videos, but here's a mini episode, number 2, with Governor Josh Shapiro at the DNC.
From the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, it's Friend in High Places. And now, here's your host, Matt Friend.
Well, everybody, it's another episode of Friend in High Places. I am so unbelievably honored to be with the governor of Pennsylvania, the great, the suave, Josh Shapiro.
Good to be with you.
Thank you so much.
Am I the friend or am I the high place?
I think you're both. We are literally in high places.
This is a big deal.
And it's a huge deal for me. I'm such a fan of you and the work that you do, and I'm so honored to talk to you.
Thank you.
My most important question is, why are Eagles fans so mean?
I don't think they're mean. They're just very passionate about their team. They love their team. They love their city, and they're pissed if they don't win.
Yeah. I'm a Bears fan, so I can see we're here in my hometown. But, so today's a huge moment for you. You're about to give a speech at the DNC. We were talking before this started. You want to save your voice. How do you prepare for a moment like this?
You know, it's a little different because normally I actually don't write out my speeches. I have like kind of an outline of a few things I want to say, a note card, and I just get up and speak from the heart. This is a little different because you got to have your words well thought out beforehand. You got to keep it tight, obviously. So I've been working on that speech with Will Simons from my team, who's terrific, and we're ready to go. I'm excited to be here tonight to talk about freedom, talk about democracy, and talk about Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
You are, I think, currently the best speaker in politics.
I don't know.
I really believe it. I mean, that currently in office, you have an insane, it's almost like you're a comedian or an entertainer. You can read the room. Where did this come from, your ability to read a room? Because not all politicians have it. I'm not going to diss Chuck Grassley, but he's not exactly has the swagger of a Josh Shapiro.
Wow.
So how are you doing this?
If Chuck Grassley's the bar, I think I've gotten over it.
Chuck Grassley's the bar. Josh Shapiro's climbed over it.
But
tell me, where does this come from?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I've never gone to any kind of speech coach or done anything like that. I've been doing this a while.
Yes.
And I really just try and speak from the heart. Like I said, I usually don't have prepared speeches or anything like that.
Yes.
I just try and speak from the heart. I try and learn from the emotions of the crowd and lean in on that. And I think it's also really, really important that you always be true to yourself. And if you can give a speech here at the DNC, you should be able to give it in Erie, Pennsylvania. And you should give it in a rural community, urban, suburban. You got to be able to speak candidly and honestly.
Yes, I do lots of celebrity impressions, and Obama's become a big one for me. And on the internet, some people say that there are certain similarities in the cadence between a Shapiro and an Obama. What do you think about that?
I don't know. You know, I never thought about that. A couple weeks ago, somebody said that to me. I mean, the dude's the greatest orator of our lifetime.
He is.
Certainly, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, that's really nice, I guess. So.
You're amazing, genuinely. So I'm Jewish, and you could be my uncle, I feel like.
Really?
Potentially.
Thank you for dating me there. It's okay.
There you go. Fine. My second cousin.
Thank you. Way better.
You're a very big inspiration to, I think, all young Americans, but particularly young Jewish Americans. And it's obviously an incredibly difficult time. And I think there's a lot of confusion on how to process everything.
Yeah.
What would be kind of your words of wisdom or guidance to young Jewish people and also just people throughout the country on?
Look, I'm really proud of my faith, and you should be too. And being proud of your faith doesn't mean that you've got to practice it a certain way. You know, if you're Jewish, you got to go to synagogue. You're Catholic, you got to go to church. It's not about the rituals, in my opinion. It's about what's here in your heart. And it's about your willingness to stand tall and be proud of that. I'm mindful of the fact that anti-Semitism is on the rise right now. By the way, sadly, so is Islamophobia and other forms of hatred and bigotry. Donald Trump throws a lot of that into the conversation. I think the best way to push back on that hate is to show people how proud you are. Some people do it by a ritualistic practice. Some people might wear a Star of David around their neck. Some people might just be proud to tell someone they're Jewish. However you choose to do that, you be you and be proud of who you are.
Guys, you don't understand what this is like. There is a magical thing happening here. This is not just politics. I am like levitating right now. I feel like I'm watching a TV show. This is called a gift. Like, some people want to be good at like not even just politics, the ability to be cool. I mean, this is the stuff.
You
this
think
is
I'm
insane.
cool?
I do think you're cool.
Right.
You have like
hey,
a James.
kids, if you're watching, I'm cool.
You've got like a Jewish James Bond thing going. I don't know what's going on. I like what's happening. So
can this interview just go on forever and ever? Jeez.
I mean, so the debate is coming up. And there are certain people that I would have loved to see debate Trump. What would be your advice for Kamala Harris as she does this debate?
Look, she doesn't need my advice. She's a really skilled debater. Donald Trump, by the way, sucked in that last debate.
It was terrible. Yeah.
I mean, he sucked. And when he wasn't sucking, he was just lying through his teeth. And so I think Kamala Harris just has to do what she's always done, been a prosecutor.
So listen,
prosecute the case.
we talked about him earlier, so here's my question. If Josh Shapiro could debate Donald Trump, what would you say to my face? Let's just say it right now. Let's get it all out.
I call that all your bullshit, man.
It's Trump. What's bullshit, Josh? There's
Everything's
no
bullshit. Literally everything you say is bullshit. Every stat you cite is bullshit.
You know, Josh,
and I would call it out, Donald. I would call it out.
Well, I actually said if a Jewish person doesn't vote for me, then the head should be examined. So what would you say to that, then, Governor Shapiro?
I would just say that is one of many of your anti-Semitic trope streaks that you've injected in our politics, and that you sucked as a president, and I'm going to work my ass off to make sure you're not the next president.
Well, some are saying that, but this debate is over, okay?
Yeah, because you're afraid. You ran away there, Donald.
I'm not
As you always do. Oh, are we out of
It was getting a little intense
character?
there.
Okay.
Where's the best cheesesteak?
I mean,
to
listen,
go?
you know,
It's a general question.
there's a lot of different choices.
Where's
in
the
Philly.
governor's go-to, though?
The gov doesn't have a go-to.
Great.
He doesn't. So you should go try. We got a lot of great stuff.
Are we good on time? Okay, 2 minutes. We have 3.5 hours.
Can we do that Trump thing again?
Yeah, well, that's great. We have 3.5 hours remaining. Given the convention, what's been the highlight for you being in a place like this? It almost feels like the Oscars or like Lollapalooza, but for politics. What's been exciting for you about being here?
I mean, listen, the speakers have been great.
Yes.
Just walking around the floor, seeing all people from different walks of life, older, younger, black, white, brown. I mean, people from all different walks of life telling me their stories about why they're here, stopping me in the hall and saying, hey, I'm from this state, but I want to tell you something. I think that's really cool. Just seeing this beautiful, melting pot here.
It's great because I can work on my impression. What would be your advice to perfect a Josh Shapiro impression? How could I get this down?
Oh, I don't know, man.
You got to have a little bit of a swagger involved.
Swagger. Oh, we're back to the swagger.
Kind of got to move your arms, like you know how to read the room a little bit.
Got to read the room.
It's the opposite of a Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell. You just got to go like this.
Yeah, just there. That is not me.
Governor Shapiro, let me just begin by saying this. I know this might be a bit surprising, but I actually think you're really great. And I admire the work you've done from Kentucky. And I want to be like you.
I know he would never say that. By the way, I think I had those glasses like in the 80s, man.
Well, it's such an honor to talk to you. Thank you for taking the time. And you're the future, I think, and you're the present, but the future. And people should get out and vote, right? Where should people vote in November?
You got to get out and vote. Listen, at the end of the day, when this convention's over, when Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are done their speeches, all the fanfare is over, guess what? They don't have the power. You have the power, and your power is your vote. Use it.
I had one more question, actually, reminded me, which
you
is...
You said one more question 27
times. I'm so sorry. Which is, your name kind of got much more recognizable throughout the country, throughout the VP search. Just what was that like, that moment when you were being considered?
Listen, I said all along, Kamala Harris had a deeply personal decision to make. In the end, so did I. And I think it was a healthy process. I was incredibly honored to be a part of it. And let me tell you, I'm thrilled to be remaining the governor of Pennsylvania.
Well, they're lucky. Thank you so much.
Good to be with you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.